everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Chris. I love doing paper crafting and junk journaling and all the good things with paper because it's my passion. I love, since I was a kid, I just love cutting paper and just putting things together and making little crafts. Right now you'll see me ripping apart some book pages from Don Quixote book that my girlfriend gave me. I love the pages, it's really smooth and I love the coloring on them. So I picked these to make a small tutorial on how to make no-cut envelopes. There's supposed to be no-cut envelopes, and the idea of this tutorial came from Joey Defee on YouTube. She's another YouTuber that makes junk journaling tutorials and videos. But I had to modify a little bit because I had to trim on the sides. So at this moment, I reached out for the page that I wanted to make into the pocket that goes inside the envelope itself. And for this, I'll be folding it kind of into thirds, but the fold is a little bit larger than the last piece because the last piece will actually be trimming it off. In this case, I kind of rip it off because it's pretty easy to rip off. Now, with that being said, this is also a no waste tutorial. That part that I just cut off, I ripped it off. You will be using it in the back of the actual envelope as another tiny pocket in the back. So I'm using that pocket that I just cut off and ripped off a piece to measure the envelope itself so that the pocket fits perfectly and it won't get folded. I left a little more space on the top so that the pocket will reassure that the pocket won't fold and won't get damaged. Whoa, gonna slow it down a little bit. We're going to be folding this corner inside because, like I said, this is a no waste tutorial. We're not gonna cut this piece off so we can give it a shape, and we're gonna stick it with Elmer's glue because Elmer's glue is pretty good. But if you want to use for this part a glue stick or a glue runner, that's also super great. We're gonna repeat this step on the other side so that we can have some sort of design to the flap of this envelope. I realized the pocket was a little too wide, so I decided to trim it only a little bit on the side. You don't have to measure, but if you measure better than I did, you don't have to cut anything off. I grabbed the pocket from the inside and I opened it up because we need to glue the edges of the sides. If you don't want to use a wet glue, I definitely recommend using a glue stick or a tape runner for this part. Now, to stick the pocket to the envelope, we're only going to glue a little bit on the middle of the pocket. That allows for flexibility when you open and close the pocket. I painted some circles into this book page, but this book page is also glued onto a second book page to make it a little more sturdy because I did not want to use cardstock paper. I wanted to use a book page, and I figured gluing it to another page would make it a little more sturdy. And so you'll see me here cutting a piece in the like a little hole in the middle so I can put a brass fastener in. You also see me measure it using the same pace, also measuring it on the envelope so I can make the hole exactly where I need it for the brass fastener and the clasp. No, I don't have Pokemon cards in here. It's actually the fasteners that I'm gonna use for this clasp. So this is what it looks like with the clasp and the brass fastener on, and it's actually really cute. We're finally gonna grab that one piece we ripped off, and we're gonna fold the edges so that we can use those edges to glue onto the envelope itself. I don't like gluing it directly. I kind of don't like the effect that it makes, so I do like folding the edges. You don't have to do this part. You can also sew it in if you want to, but I decided to do it this way. This is the way that I really like personally myself. For now, I'm kind of just gluing it to themselves so that when I add it to the envelope, it does not open. And we're done. This is all of the envelopes I made for this package. Each package contains 3 of these book page envelopes, and they all have the pocket in the back, plus the pocket inside, which is flexible enough for you could add anything you want. I'm really excited for these. They turned out so good. Now I'll be showing you how to make or how to decorate these cards, because in order to make these kind of cards, you actually have to make what we call a master board or a collage board. And it's when we grab a piece of paper or put pieces of paper together to make a collage as a background. Here I grabbed a book page and I kind of glued it a little bit to a cardstock page to be able to feed it through my printer. And you can see that I placed it upside down. I didn't realize. But we use these pages to add an extra piece of decoration in the back of these collage cards. This design itself, it comes from Elder Props. It's somebody who does and dedicates their time to making replicas of books from movies and TV shows. Here I'm trying to remove the page from the cardstock page. The sad thing about it is that I used the tape runner and now I have to remove the glue from the back of the page. I make myself laugh sometimes. So if you want to be able to do this part as well, I suggest you take a cardstock page or a copy page, like copy paper, and take a book page and do the same that I'm doing here. Just glue on the edges of the paper so that the paper does not move around while it's printing. See, for this one, I decided to change the color a bit because I like the vibrancy of this one red and not the burgundy. For this part, I'm grabbing my bag of scraps because this card isn't fully decorated and I want to add a little more. Oops, found another card that wasn't fully decorated, so I'm also using the scraps on the edge for this one. I picked out 3 cards because each package also contains 3 decorated cards that you can use for your junk journals to write, to use as a gift, or anything else. Right now, what I'm using are these fuzzy cuts that I myself cut from some prints that I had, and I am just using them to decorate the card. For now, I'm just gluing it with Elmer's glue, and it's going to be on this little corner because I liked how it looked. And for the edges, I'm going to stitch around by hand with a needle, and I'm just using normal thread, like thread that you use to fix pants or anything like that. I'm not doing too much. There's a lot of people that use their own sewing machines, but I do not have one handy, so I always kind of do this part by hand. Sadly, it does take a little while to get through these, but it's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. That's why I kind of like doing it by hand, because it also allows me a lot more flexibility and a lot less error, basically. I feel like I have more control when I do it this way. we're gonna do this little corner now, and I wanted to slow down so you guys can see how I'm doing this part, as well as how I tie the knot in the end. And while I realized that I've already been tying a knot, when I ran out of thread, I wanted to show you guys anyway how I end this knot. I kind of just go inside one of the loops, one of the last loops, and I don't know how to explain this part. I kind of just tie a knot. I tie a knot as best as I can, just running a loop through the last stitch, basically. For this part, I just skipped it because you've already seen the process on how to glue them and just stitch the border. And this is what the 3 cards look like. I used a spider for one of them, a scorpion for the other, and a moth for the first one, basically last, that I'm showing here. Well, let's jump into the next part. Here, I'll be showing you and explaining a little bit on how to start your junk journal. I've already picked up some pages that I wanted to use for this junk journal, and I'll be explaining how to bind them and everything. For the cover, and there's a second page here, they're both digitals. The artist is Whimsical Adventure on Etsy. I will link their Etsy shop down below in the description box. And the rest of these pages that I am showing you are from different books that I've been collecting from thrift stores and thrift shops that have these old books. I really miss going to buy books, actually. One of my favorite books is The UFO, The Continuing Enigma. It has really nice imagery. I don't know how accurate it is. I didn't buy it to read it, but I love the images on it, and I definitely had to use them for this journal. As you can see, it has black and white pages too, and a bunch of colors and a lot of things, and I just really wanted to use them. This page is a scrapbook page, and I had used a pastel to kind of create that vintage edge, and then there's another book page that I folded a little more diagonally just to add some depth. So now I'm picking up the pages to add them in a specific order. For me, this one looked the best to add first. It doesn't always have to be contrast against contrast. Sometimes it's just what you feel like and what makes you feel good. So I'm just adding pages one on top of the other to, again, add more depth. And now I'm clamping them so that I don't lose the order or they don't move around, because it's going to be a little difficult to bind them if they do move around. I had to skip most of the page organizing because I realized it was a lot of film, and we don't need that entire process in this video. You kind of just organize the pages as best as you like and as you see fit, and that's what I did. It just took me a little longer than I expected, and I'm just trimming down the pages so that they all fit perfectly within the journal and how I'm gonna finish it off. I have all the pages that I want in a specific order. Once you make sure that all the pages are in the order that you want, you're gonna start clasping them as best as you can, like holding them down with some sort of clasp so they don't move around when you do bind them, because when you bind them, the way that I'm going to be binding them is not efficient whatsoever. I do not recommend it, but the hour that I was doing it, I was pretty late and I wanted to try to finish this video. It didn't work out well. I wanted to post it yesterday. Today is Saturday 14th of October, so I'm really sorry about that. It's a little late, but basically once you have the order of the pages, you just want to pinch them with whatever pinches you have lying around, and even you can still use paper clips or anything that you can find that it will help you keep them in place. Now I'm picking out a specific size of needle. I want one that wasn't too big. I ended up changing it anyway to the bigger one because it was going to be harder to put this thread through. For the binding of this journal, you want to cut out 3 sizes of the journal. Basically, just measure it 3 sizes of the same journal, and it should be good enough so you can, at the end, make a ribbon and bind it. You're gonna want to leave a little space. You don't want to bring the thread all the way around and have it like at half. Just leave a little space at the end so that same ribbon thread can go through completely when you're binding the journal. Now I'm trying to measure where I want the punctures to go through because the pages are in different spaces. What I did was measure 2 inches from the bottom, 2 inches from the top, and in the middle I measured about 2.5 inches for the last puncture. I finally have them organized as I want to. Now we're going to start from puncturing from the cover, which will be from the outside through the inside of the journal. Once you go through the inside, you're going to go through the middle part, and as you measured it on the cover, it should be on the same side. So you go through the top from the outside to the inside, then you go through the middle, and from the middle you go outside to the last puncture, and it should be going back inside into the journal. Once you see that all the pages are on the correct places, then you're going to want to tighten that thread pretty well. I slowed down the video for this part because we have a lot of leftover for the last part, so we're gonna try to move it around a little bit more. I'm pulling it from the inside, and kind of like a shoelace, honestly. Pulling it from the inside, then pulling it so that it tightens it on the other side, and then you pull it from the outside, which is the first puncture that you made, and now both threads, which is the same thread, but both of them are the same size. Now you're gonna want to tie a knot. I usually just double knot it. Make sure that it's on the top, not on the bottom or on the middle. It's gonna tighten a lot better if you tighten it all the way on the top. Now that you make sure it's tight, you're gonna tie off with a ribbon. Now you can double tie or double knot the ribbon so that it does not come loose, but still I think it should be pretty good and ends up being pretty sturdy. This kind of binding is one of my favorite ones. It's super simple and easy to do. So this is a flip through of all the pages ended up looking inside this journal. I think it looks, all of the pages together look super great, and I can't wait for the customer who ordered this package to make it their own and decorate it themselves and add their own flair. Here I finished decorating the fold-out folio that I was missing. I almost forgot to add it to the package, but here I added an extra little piece of tag. This isn't normally included, but I wanted to add something different, something special. I thought this would be super nice. Here is what the fold-out folio looks like decorated. I finally added some pockets and some extra pieces of ephemera that I wanted to include, some digitals and some custom pieces that I made myself using watercolor paint and gold. I love gold. So you have a couple of quotes and a couple of little things that I've acquired from Etsy artists. I will link them down below. Here for this back, I used a book page from an Edgar Allan Poe story. I used some bookmarks. The artist for these ones is called Whimsical Adventure, I think, and I'm gonna also link them down below, as well as this jar, this envelope, and other stuff that I've added. I went all out decorating this fold-out folio. This piece here is a rip a rippable piece that she can use for her junk journal and her decorations. And then this is another book page that I decided to put there and decorate, and I think everything looks so good put together. I wanted to come do this super quickly because I don't have a lot of time, but I did wanted to show you the process of packing this order as well. Here, I'm adding the journal that I made for this package. Remember that every package comes with one fold-out folio, one junk journal, this decorated envelope, and this envelope that comes inside isn't actually a thing that comes in. I just wanted to add an extra little thing for her as a thank you gift. I'll add these Necronomicon replica pages and these pages that I hand painted myself with watercolor, these envelopes, and last but not least, these ephemera pieces and these cards that I've decorated myself as well. I thought they looked absolutely stunning and magnificent in here. I'm trying to just find a way to decorate it. I ended up not using this specific piece of craft paper only because it was just too bland for me. It wasn't stamped. I decided to stamp a different piece of craft paper and use that for my package. I'll just be skipping this part. This is the craft paper that I'll be using for the package, and I'll be stamping it with a bunch of little cute Halloween stamps that I've been collecting over the years. These I've bought from Michael's, but the one that I'm using right now is from Sticky Club. Jesus, I miss that subscription. That's probably the only subscription that I miss having. Hopefully in the future I can get back into it, but right now it's not feasible. So I also have these Happy Mail stamps that I've acquired from Shein, just to add a little more design to it. Plus it's Happy Mail themed and Halloween themed, so I think they look super great together. Just sit back and enjoy the rest of the stamping process. I finished it, so now it's time to mirarlo, flip it the other way around so that I can put the contents in. There's the fold-out folio, there's the journal, the envelope, the papers, the other envelopes that I've made, and the ephemera pieces and the cards. So here I'm just wrapping it finally with this piece that I've decorated with stamps that you've seen before. And just enjoy this packaging experience with me. It was difficult. I still haven't gotten it down completely. I'm still practicing. This is only my second order. So if you're here and you're watching and you enjoy my content, my videos, my tutorials, everything that I'm putting out there, like, subscribe, comment, do everything you want to be able to support me, and continue to show that for me, as it just motivates me and it helps me get inspired to be able to continue to do this kind of content. Plus, if you're still here and my business blows up, then you're going to be one of the original people that just continue to support me throughout the craziness of this world. So I am so eternally grateful for you guys and so happy that you guys are actually here with me through this entire process. So I'm taking this yarn that my girlfriend gave me. I don't know where she got it from, but I'm definitely using it for all of my crafting needs here in the office. And I'm just taking it and I'm wrapping it around. There's a little technique that my best friend showed me. I wouldn't even know how to explain it, but I just do. I'm just doing it in a way that it looks like vintage packaging, basically. Here I noticed that there's way too many blank spaces, so I tried to add just a little more stamping to the package so it doesn't look too bland. This Halloween greeting card is actually a thank you card for my friend who is supporting me just like you guys are supporting me by sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, and doing all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for being here, for watching, and I'm so eternally grateful for you guys. I hope that you guys like this video, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!